if we know for sure that all of that happened, then maybe he wouldn't be quite as over as a babyface. But it's like, who knows? We tend to try to give people the benefit of the doubt when they deserve it. A lot of shit added up with him. Doesn't mean he won't be back.
What's your YouTube page? We're going to plug everything.
It's the real RVD, the real RVD. And I share my insights under a playlist called RVDology. And when I do my podcast, which is on Premier Access, we put those clips on my YouTube page as well.
This is my premier streaming network you're talking about, correct?
Oh, then you've heard of it.
They've heard of it. Josh Chernoff, the man who started it, and I have known each other since he was 9 years old. He lives in my neighborhood, and they just presented me with a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Did you beat him for that?
No, they had it made for me.
Okay, all right.
I could have beaten him. So.
Well, says you. Yep. We'll never know now, but that's cool. Congratulations.
Yeah, nice. No, I've known Josh since he was 8 years old. He came through Apple
I heard
Valley.
9, but I get different stories now.
109. Going on to just another subject. Were you surprised when WWE finally sold the goods, and they're now part of a corporation that also owns UFC? Did you think you'd ever see that?
I can't say that I predicted that, but when I'm kind of difficult to surprise, when people ask if I'm surprised, I kind of put a lot more weight into that surprise word than I probably should, because, I don't get rocked by much. I'm pretty good at accepting things, with stoicism. So, hey, life's interesting.
Vince McMahon's still going to be in the driver's seat, so to say, but and they've let about 100 people go. One of the people that kind of surprising, but not surprising because of some incidents recently, is a friend of yours, Matt Riddle, has gone from WWE. Could you speak on that?
Yeah, he definitely hasn't been the quiet wheel on the train. But
well put.
I'm not, again, super surprised. This is the world that I know and that you know. Every year after WrestleMania, they always have a bunch of firings, and everybody's always like, I'm so shocked. I can't believe it. This is the world that I know. I was more surprised that I didn't get fired when I was there. I never felt like I was untouchable, like I couldn't be fired, like I was irreplaceable. I felt so expendable. Like when people be getting laid off, I'd be like, oh, I'm still here, really? And that's because they always had a way of humbling me and making me feel like sometimes I felt like, wow, they're really behind me. Wow, I must be doing a great job. Then other times I'd be like, wow, they don't get me at all. They must not see the value in me. They're just using me to be a roadkill for this push that ain't going to work on this giant guy, like we talked about earlier. There was always times like that where it would humble me so much I would feel like unsure of how much I'm appreciated. So when I see the wrestlers get it in their head that they're untouchable, and now that they're WWE, they're set for life, I just shrug my shoulders. They get let go, and it's like, that's the world I know. That's what happens. You didn't expect it. Why? Well, probably experience. It's crazy when you think about it. To get into the business, you got to believe in yourself so much. You're the one that's going to make it out of everyone in this room. But then once you get into it, you got to back off. You can't still be so crazy that you're better than everyone in the room, or you got heat from everybody. And then it's like, leave the gimmick at the door. And it's like, it can be confusing for people if they don't have the right tutelage, I think, helping them navigate through that world. And so I can see it. But me, even when people thought I was the whole damn show, Mr. Monday Night.
I was one of them.
when they well when people thought that I was like on top, I still wouldn't move from the West Coast to be closer to work because I never knew how long it was going to last. I'm like, this is my life, this is my job, and this is my life. That's how I always looked at it. And so
The thing with Matt Riddle was allegedly about the publicity that happened with this thing at JFK Airport and the whole bit, and just um,
that was probably, as they say, the straw that broke the camel's back. We need some stronger camels is what we need. But they got back problems anyway. You can see it in their form when they walk. But I think, that Katie even said like a little while ago, like, wow, it's amazing. We haven't seen Matt in the news lately, or haven't seen his or she says, I know if I haven't seen Matt's, the way she put it, if she hasn't seen his
language
online, then he's been behaving himself or something, because he would always get blamed from ex-girlfriends that are mad at him, and a lot of those accusations, if we know for sure that all of that happened, then maybe he wouldn't be quite as over as a baby face. But it's like, who knows, we tend to try to give people the benefit of the doubt when they deserve it. A lot of
language
stuff added up with him. Doesn't mean he won't be back. But
how long have you known him?
I probably met him around, I'm guessing maybe like 99, 2000.
Oh, really?
Around then,
Really?
yeah.
That
It was
long
when
ago?
Hugh was still doing the parties at the Playboy Mansion. He quit doing it shortly after the one that I met him at. It was a marijuana policy project fundraiser at the Playboy Mansion, and I met Matt there. I knew him from the TV show The Ultimate Fighter, which I was a fan
Right.
of. Yeah,
Right.
and we both smoked, so we were smoking there in the grotto. Not very sexy, smoking with Matt in the grotto, but that was
At the
probably
Playboy Mansion.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's one place I was never invited to, unfortunately.
I was there for a couple of these events. That, like I said, it was the MPP. I was a big supporter of them when my friend was the president of it. Marijuana Policy Project. That was back when we only had a few states that had legalized cannabis, and everyone was still smoking cigarettes and thinking that the legalizing pot was just for druggies. There's still those people. They just don't realize how few they are now, and how dated their thoughts are.
Where can people find you on social media? And you mentioned about doing more things. What are you currently doing? What's your daily life like right now when you're not in?
Well, I've been traveling a lot this year and a lot last year, a lot more than I thought. So, I'm still wrestling. I do a lot of the signings, conventions.
Yes.
Yep. Had a lot of acting projects, 4 or 5 acting projects on the table because of the strike. They are on hold. I have a very busy personal life with my beautiful wife, Katie Forbes. And
It sure is.
yeah, hi baby. She just came home. And I just got home Sunday from this AEW match in Grand Rapids, came home, which was Las Vegas for me. I'll leave again Thursday, and I'm wrestling in Battle Creek, Michigan this Saturday, which is a big full circle hometown.
Although if you're watching this after that Saturday happened,
if you're watching this afterwards, it already happened. Yeah.
It was a great show.
It was excellent. People saw that RVD is even better than they could have imagined after he got to warm up a couple matches first. But this is the Kellogg Center where I kissed Ted DiBiase's foot, where I used to watch wrestling as a kid growing up. So it's very special for me. And